When?
When?
All right, well, here we are in the Dave Soda Pet Food City Fish Room, and I'm here with Alex, and we're going to do a nice quick tour here, just show a little bit of what we have in stock, and for all you fish keepers out in YouTube land that want to come and check out our collection, we've got some, starting off with our Guppy Tank. We've got a couple tanks scattered through the room, all different colors, all different shapes, all different sizes. Moving right on down. These are our small swordtails. We've got smaller traditional sized ones right here. All different colors, shapes, sizes as well. We've got other swordtails which we'll get to in a minute. We're going to move right up to these guys over here. Some interesting oddball one cichlid you don't see too often anymore. This is an Acara Cichlid. He's actually very pretty, neat markings on him. And some firemouths as well. That's a classic favorite that's been around for years and always a nice looking fish. And this fancy guy in here, that is a Pictus Angelicus catfish. Look at the whiskers on him. Beautiful, beautiful, fast moving, active, looks great in a school in a big tank. Moving right down along here for our angelfish fans. This is our first section of angelfish right here. We've got a couple of black lace that are gorgeous, nice and shiny. Look at the colorations, the red eye, very cool, very pretty. And then we've got a nice small collection down here of some different types of South American cichlids. There's some Maniguenses in there. There are some couple of small Severums in there. There's even a couple little baby parrots, all little small guys that you can grow out and watch get big in your tank. Coming up here, one that's not seen very often. This is called a chocolate cichlid. Look at the huge eye on that fish. That's absolutely beautiful. They get to a really big size and they're actually pretty mellow. They may eat little fish, but you can keep them with bigger peaceful fish their own size. Look at the size of the swordtails they're swimming with. These are big tricolor koi swords. There's a couple pineapple swordtails in there with them. A couple lyre tails. Real big, real pretty. Okay. Look over here. We have got some nice sailfin mollies. We've got a couple big, beautiful high fin males in there. Look real pretty. This is a nice fish if people like for a first time fish breeder. You can watch, they're a live bearer, so you can actually save a lot of the babies, grow them out, watch them get big. All sorts of different color patterns. We also have a tank in here that we have, this is where we put all our little leftover fish. For example, if we have a few fish left over from a batch, we combine them all together to make a full tank and we mark the price down. This is our mix and match tank, so there's always little treasures in here. A lot of times occasionally we'll throw an expensive fish in there just for like a prize in the cereal. But we got a lot of interesting color. This is a great tank for people to get started with. People to get in if you're starting up a fish tank. All hardy species, all pretty much peaceful stuff in there. Very cool. And then again, we got some more angelfish. We've got some beautiful markings, beautiful colors. There's a peacock bass lurking in there with them. He gets huge. That big guy right in the corner there. But yeah, these are all these are tank raised, locally bred. So you've got a beautiful mixture of colors, real hardy. Look in here. They look like logs. Here's a big, beautiful royal Plecostomus. It's an algae eater. If you have big chunks of driftwood, they love to hang onto those in your tank. Looks gorgeous in a big aquarium, almost looks like a tree limb. But if you look closely, they got bright red eyes. And then these big chunky fish swimming in front of them, these are snakeskin gouramis. They actually are, for a big fish, but quite peaceful. They'll get up to about 9 inches. So another, if you have a big tank, looks awesome filling it up. And then swinging down here, we got some more guppies. Some more different colors in there, more different strains. Guppies are an interesting fish. They're also a live bearer. So no two look alike as well. So all different strains, all different colors. And we got some weird stuff in here. A couple of big angelfish in there. A little school of gold barbs. And these things that look like pelicans, those are hatchet fish. That's actually a really interesting species. It's a surface dweller, a stay-near top, and they actually want to have a good top on the tank because they can actually fly. They will jump almost like a flying fish. love to eat flakes. They'll eat small insects. Put them in a school with a different color, like with these guys. It looks great because you get all different types of flashy look to it. Mix them in with these yellow guys, they look awesome. All right, look down here. We got some paradise gouramis, which are these guys with the longer fins. You can see those guys right there. And mixed in there are baby Oscars. These guys are real cute when they're little, but keep in mind they grow to an epic size. They get up over a foot, and as you can see, they love to eat. You can see them jumping looking for food. My finger's up on the tank, and they think it's food, so they're trying to grab it. So it's a fun little fish that will grow into a big fun fish. Look over here. We've got our glowfish. We have glow tetras and glow danios. These are not dyed or painted. These are DNA crossed to get those colors. So they stay that color. Put a blue actinic light over your tank and they'll actually glow. Real hardy, real easy to keep. Look fantastic in a school, as you can see. Great at filling a tank as well. Great for kids, for a first fish in an aquarium. Beautiful, beautiful coloration there. All right, moving right along, we got some gouramis here. And there's some Australian rainbows stuck in that tank. And if you see this one little blue fish down here, he's a blue, looks almost like a blue leopard. He's right back over here. That is an electric blue Jack Dempsey. He is actually, we'll get to a nice size as well. Get out of the way, Gourami. He's blocking it. There we go. He'll actually grow to a nice size and absolutely gorgeous coloring. The bigger he gets, the more brighter he gets. So that's a baby, but when you have one at 6 inches in a 55-gallon tank, that's a showpiece. A fish you want to show off to everyone. Beautiful, beautiful fish. And then look down here. These are traditional. Everyone's probably seen these guys before. These are a tricolor shark, or a bala shark it's also known as. They look scary, but they're actually quite peaceful, and they grow to a large size. And then right up here we got a whole hodgepodge of little fish in its school. These are Harlequin rasboras, and there's also some bloodfin tetras in there. These, if you have a great beginner fish and look fantastic in a big group, if you have a large planted tank or even a smaller planted tank, a school of 8 to 10 of these whipping through the grass looks fantastic. There's also these little school of fish down in the corner. Those are called Apistogramma Cichlids. Those are actually cichlids that stay real small. It's a fun little fish for breeding. There's some pleco algae eaters hiding under there as well. Okay, and looking down here, we've got rainbow sharks. Really bright color, neat looking. Again, they're not a real shark. They sort of look like them with that body. It's more of a slightly territorial fish, so either keep them in singles or in large groups. Bigger, faster fish they do fine with. And then there are more plecos, more algae eaters in the corner. Big herd of them right there. And this one, everyone knows what these are. These are neon tetras, the classic schooling fish. Again, a great tank. Mix these with the Harlequin rasboras and the bloodfins in a planted tank. Looks great. This is one of my favorites right over here. I think, honestly, one of the most beautiful fish. This is a pearl gourami. Look at that leopard pattern on them. Look at those long fins, and look at that nice little orange streak on the bottom. That combination of color is absolutely beautiful. These are graceful fish, pretty hardy as well. If you put one of these in your tank, again, in a planted tank, 5 or 6 of these growing to 6 inches maximum size, absolutely gorgeous. You will absolutely love them. And then going on the other end, probably the most evil, nastiest, mean fish on the planet. These are called bucktooths, or Exons. And these are very, very similar, behave very similarly to a piranha, but they're not. They will go into feeding frenzies if you drop a chunk of shrimp in there. Would not recommend you really keeping these with other fish because they are quite nippy. But if you have a fast-moving tank with a lot of current and you want to have an exciting tank with an aggressive tank, that's a fun one to keep. And this is probably one of the most bizarre fish we have. This is called a 4-eye, or an anablep. If you can see, his eyes actually go above the water so he can look around for insects, almost like a little periscope. And he can see above and below the water because his pupil is split. So you can see in both directions. You can see how his eyes sit high up on his head. That one is taken, and then they go up and they put their eyes above the water so they can see what's going on. That way they see a bug, they can grab it. Okay, down here, we got a couple of weird ones. This is a shiny, beautiful, slightly brackish water fish. Add a little bit of salt to this water and these guys thrive. These are called monocebes. Big diamond-shaped fish, flashy, very fast swimmer, quite hardy. And then if you look at that weird-looking thing, that's coming, almost looks like a almost looks like a rock floating in water or a leaf. This guy down here, that there is called a butterfly goby. You want to watch out when you handle them. If you ever have to pick them out, they have very sharp fins, and they can actually sting you like a bee. So just if you ever have to handle them, be careful. But it's interesting, if you look at his fins, almost looks like a butterfly or a moth. So it's kind of a neat looking swimmer. Unusual, very, very, very strange oddball. Okay, and then moving along here, we've got some more brackish fish. These are called scats. This is actually a real hardy, strong beginner fish. Easy to feed, easy to keep, fast moving, looks great in a big tank. Look at that nice shiny aluminum color on them. Looks beautiful. And these are some killifish, these big long torpedo shaped. True surface dweller. You can see the females are sort of gray, but the males have the green on them. Kind of an unusual surface dweller that gets about 4 inches. Then we're going to move right along over here. We're going to swing over. We've got all different types of goldfish. This is probably the most classic of aquarium fish, the traditional comet goldfish. These are great for beginners. 20-gallon tank I would recommend minimum for these guys. Eventually they do get big and you want to put them in a big tank. And these are fish you don't want to put in a bowl. A lot of people think you can put goldfish in a bowl. Highly don't recommend doing that. They won't thrive. The bigger the tank for these guys, the better. Even better is a pond, a backyard pond, because they'll grow large and they'll become quite beautiful. Same thing with these little koi right here. These are baby koi. And these are cute now. They grow huge. People put these in big backyard garden ponds and they'll actually eat out of your hand. You can train them eventually to come up and eat out of your hand. They become big pet fish and a favorite in backyard garden ponds. And then we've got another comet. We've got red and white comets over here. It's a nice, bright, colorful fish. And then down here, we've got a fish called a Asha Buckins. This is actually another type of comet goldfish, but it's almost like a calico pattern. You got some blue, red, gold, bronze colored. Really, really, really pretty fish. Stands out beautifully in a pond or even in an aquarium. Looks great. These are kind of cool. These are called ranchus, and these are actually a type of goldfish. You can see there's no dorsal fin. Crossbred over the years to get that look. Recommend these. They can go in a pond, but they are slow swimmers, so they might be easy pickings for a bird. So a large aquarium would look great for these guys. And then some more butterfly koi, same as those, but as you can see, they have the longer tail fins and they have the longer pectoral fins. And that guy's kissing my finger right up here. But these are babies. They'll get up to 3 feet, so you want to make sure that they go into a big, 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 big pond. Down here, we've got black goi. It's actually a cross between a koi and a goldfish. You end up with a jet black, solid black goldfish. Very cool, very stealth looking, fantastic looking fish. Another real pretty one. Put it under bright lights with a lighter background with white gravel. Mix in maybe a yellow canary comet like you see there, and they'll really, really, really stick out beautifully in your tank. Then up top, we've got little fantail goldfish. We've got some really neat looking fantail goldfish up here. All different shapes, all different sizes. There's some pearl scales. There are some ryukins. There are some, a couple baby ranchus in there. This is a red cap. He's got that red head, like he's wearing a cap. And then over here, moving right along, we've got our bigger goldfish. These you can put in a pond, they're a bit larger. These yellow guys right here are called Canary Comets or apricot comets. As you can see, they're different. Instead of being orange, they're bright yellow. They stand, if you have an LED light or a blue LED light, they almost glow like the glowfish. put them in a pond next to some orange comet goldfish and Asha Buckins. You've got a beautiful display. Beautiful display. Get up over a foot. They'll grow up over a foot. So really, really nice, pretty fish. We've got a few saltwater fish. All of our saltwater fish are larval raised or tank raised. As you can see, we've got a percula clownfish. We've also got a couple other different types in there, a couple wrasses. These guys, the clownfish, have all been locally bred. They've been bred in New York by a mother and son team, so they do a real nice job on them. And then we've got over here, we've got some discus fish. We've got a couple big discus in here, a couple cobalt blues. We do bring them in from time to time. We were a little low on discus over the winter just because it was too cold to really ship them. But they're another real pretty fish. And then some more saltwater fish. And then our last but not least, let me jump over here. We've got a tank of some bigger, fast-moving, more bad boy tank in here. We've got some parrot cichlids, some severums. There's a couple of gars in there, and there's a big freshwater barracuda you can see lurking in the back. And if you look real closely up towards the top, you can see a needle-shaped fish. He's sort of up in the, that is a Needlenose Gar. Kind of hard to see because he's riding right under the light right there. And you got a severum in the way. That's a Needlenose Gar. He's kind of a unique one. He's a predator. These are ambush predators. He will actually grab little tiny fish. This is a pretty severum, pretty parrotfish in there. Like I said, more aggressive stuff. This is, you don't want to put any community stuff in this tank because they'll tear them to shreds. But big fish, active, lot of activity. Very cool, very cool. Well, anyway, that's our tour. Hope you enjoyed it. Any questions, we're all free to help. Give us a call or stop on in. We'd love to have you.
I'd like to say thank you to Dave for letting me